Have you heard trainers say that you shouldn't let your dog sleep in bed? Or maybe someone told you that your dog would develop separation anxiety or be dominant over you if they slept with you. Yeah, that's not a thing. I'm not one of those trainers who say no to dogs in bed, but what I do say is wait. So if you're thinking you'd like your pup to sleep in bed with you, I'm here to tell you when and how you should do it for the best chance of success and no accidents. Michelle here with How to Train a Dream Dog. I don't let my dogs sleep in bed with me. It's just a personal preference. I sleep better when they aren't hogging the bed. And I have 3 medium and a large dog, so that wouldn't leave room for me. But if you'd like to invite your pupper into bed with you, keep these tips in mind before you do. Now here's all the things I want you to accomplish before you start these slumber parties. I want crate training to be well established. Now that means the dog rests comfortably in the crate for naps and nights. There's no fussing and he sleeps all night. Now your bed should not be a substitute for the crate, but can replace it for night sleeping once the dog is old enough. Do not forego the crate training because it's hard to get the puppy used to it. Now if your puppy's whining, fussing, or crying in the crate, inviting him into your bed is not the answer. The answer is to help him love his crate with a positive association and fun crate training games. Now more on that in just a minute. Now the other thing I want you to make sure you do before you invite your pup into bed is to work on potty training. A pup who is not potty trained combined with a soft squishy mattress is a recipe for disaster. Once that mattress soaks up all the dog urine, game over. Now the dog's gonna smell that spot forever, and you might even have to get a new mattress. So making sure that potty training is 100% established before that pup is in bed is important. Even if your dog is doing well with potty training, you might find the excitement of the new area causes a potty accident. So be sure to introduce this new area in the right way. This video is going to help you with that training. You'll also want to wait until the teething phase is over. Dogs love to chew on soft squishy things, but that also poses a huge hazard that could need medical intervention. Now, during the teething phase, dogs also get more confident and curious as they get closer to adolescence. So even if your 9-week-old furry little potato seems innocent and easy right now, well, you're in for a change when he hits about the 5 to 6 months of age. He might be prone to wandering and checking out the house while you sleep. This is another recipe for disaster and not a good night's sleep for you. Now, the other thing I want you to know is that after your dog has a spay or neuter surgery, his or her activities are going to be more limited. So if the pup is in bed with you, that's going to be a lot harder. So using the crate at night until after the surgery is done is what I recommend. Now here are a few other things I want you to consider before making this decision. Now if your dog is a light sleeper, maybe is more on the anxious or nervous side, or sensitive to movement or sounds, you might end up jeopardizing his sleep. So when you move around at night, this could actually startle your dog and prevent him from getting the proper rest. Now it's also a lot harder to block out light or cover up sounds when the room is wide open. You can do that a lot easier if they're in the crate. The crate also gives your dog a cozy and more secure place to sleep. So consider if this bed sleeping is in the best interest of your dog's unique personality. Now hear me on this important point. Once you invite the dog into your bed, it is very hard to go back. When we give our dogs a choice of where to sleep, we have to be prepared for what they choose. So if you're crate training and you let your dog sleep in bed, assume that your crate training will probably not go forward as well as you hoped. As long as you keep up with the daytime practice, it should remain about where it is right now though. That's why I want you to wait until crate training is well established before considering this new arrangement. So recently on a Zoom call with our pro-level students, I was advising Tangela about her pup, Master, who's 14 months old. Master had been more restless at night, and out of sleep deprivation, Tangela invited him into bed so they could both get more sleep. Tangela wondered if she should make this a permanent arrangement. Now, we gave her all the advice we're giving you here today. Since Master is older and past potty training and crate training, it seemed like it could be an option. Tangela said that Master often comes inside with muddy paws or paws that have grass on them from his walks. Tangela isn't sure she wants all this in her bed. Okay, fair point. Now, she can work on wiping those paws off, and she might decide to ask Master to sleep in a bed on her bed. You can bring your dog's bed up on your bed to make a better designated spot where you want him to sleep. You could also do this with a particular blanket or a pillow. Now, the more distinctive it is from the bed, the better. Now, I want to tell you a few stories of students I've worked with where bed sleeping with their puppy didn't go so well. Now, it's very possible that your pup won't experience any of these challenges. That's great. I only want to warn you of the potential downfalls, so you can evaluate if this is a good option for you. All right, Cheryl had a young dog who took to the crate with ease. She felt like since Murphy was doing so well in the crate for naps, it would be okay if she slept with Cheryl at night. Murphy was about 16 weeks old then. Well, a few months later, Murphy reached adolescence and got a lot more confident and curious about the world. So she started getting up from the bed and wandering around the house, finding forbidden items to chew like trash and cushions. Cheryl had to work backwards and confine Murphy to the crate to prevent medical issues from happening, and so they both could get more sleep. Murphy was not a fan of this arrangement, and it was a lot of work for Cheryl too. Cheryl wishes she had waited until Murphy was just a little bit older and didn't have quite such a curious puppy brain. Now, another client, Douglas, he had a lovely friend she named Earl. Earl was one of those Velcro dogs we hear about, who just loves to be with his human. When Douglas gets up at night to use the bathroom, Earl would follow. Now, Earl was wide awake and ready to party. This made it hard to get Earl back to sleep. This was also a challenge when Douglas wanted to stay up a little later, but Earl needed more sleep. Earl would just stay awake, waiting for Douglas to go to bed. It would be much better if Earl had his own little spot where he could sleep uninterrupted. This could help him feel a little better about being alone, too. Now, although sleeping in bed won't cause separation anxiety, it could mean that the human isn't providing as much confident alone time for the dog, which could increase the Velcro behavior. When I got pregnant with my daughter and I decided I didn't want my dogs, Oreo and Bear, in bed with me, well, they had already been used to this arrangement, so I actually had to retrain them to sleep elsewhere. It took a lot more work than if I had just started them in a different spot to begin with. In the middle of the night, when they would jump up on the bed, I would actually have to get up and redirect them to their spots. I had to be 100% consistent. So I want to save you that hassle. That's why I want you to think through this decision of inviting the dog to bed with you before you do it. Now, once you do it, it's a lot harder to go back. You should also think forward in your life to how your sleep might change, including if you get married or have kids who are going to want to sleep with you. Now, if you're not sure that your bed is the best place for your dog to sleep, consider a few other options, including a crate next to the bed or a dog bed next to your bed, or even a puppy pen in your room with a bed in it. Just remember that beds should only be added after the chewing phase is over. So for the first 6 to 8 months or even longer, we don't recommend any soft bedding or items like that in the crate. Some dogs never get this privilege. They're just too oral. Lab owners, are you listening? Give me a #yes below if you're loving this great info. Hopefully, you've checked out some of the other amazing videos on this channel, too. If you want to say thanks, just use the Super Thanks feature here in YouTube. And if you want to help us out, you can subscribe to the channel and share this video with a friend. Now, I want to give you 2 quick safety tips about bed sleeping with a dog. Did you know that resource guarding could occur with a bed? Space is a resource, and depending on the temperament of your dog, he or she could actually be possessive of the space or growl or react when being moved. Now, if you see this happening, it's best to start working on it right away. We can help you with that as part of the pro level of my course. It's a case-by-case situation. Now, the other safety tip is to be sure you use pet stairs. Beds are often very high, and even if your dog can jump off them, that doesn't mean they should. Jumping from high places can be really hard on puppy joints, especially if growth plates aren't fully formed. So, get some pet stairs and train your dog to use them to go up and down. Now, here's another great story to help you think about this important decision. Maria had a Maltipoo named Gus, and Gus was not a fan of the crate. This happens sometimes. So Maria decided to let Gus sleep with her. Now Gus is older and has a difficult time being in the crate when Maria leaves the house or during those frequent grooming appointments. Like I said, Starting training early, when the dog's brain is young and is more open to new things, is so much better. It's not a lost cause for Maria and Gus, but it's going to take more work to get Gus comfortable with the crate. Now, if your situation is like Maria's and you came here to see if bed sleeping would be a better option than crate training, well, I hope you heard me when I said keep working on the crate training. Crate training can feel like a lot of work at first, but you can see that it's a lot easier when the dog is young than if he grows up and you have to begin again. Understanding canine body language will be very important during this time of crate training. Knowing what is normal puppy fussing as he or she learns to self-soothe and what is panic is going to help you determine your next steps. Of course, making sure all your dog's needs are met before going in the crate is also a key part of this equation. It can be hard, but it's worth it, and it can be done. No dog is a lost cause for crate training. Our crate training mini course contains the lessons on building confidence with the pen or a crate. Now, we can also teach you how to know when it's okay to walk away or increase your duration. Now, we can provide you with all the games you need to have fun training sessions while your puppy builds up confidence with the crate. We can share some good tools you can use to help your puppy feel better about the crate, and you too. Now, you can get started with your crate training knowledge with this video, and then head over to the mini course when you're ready to get started on the fun games. All right, in the comments below, tell me, what are you thinking? Are you going to be allowing your pup in bed? Now, if you have any doubts or further questions, just ask your favorite certified trainer.